Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's Wednesday. Hope you guys had a great day. Obviously, it was a great day in the markets, along with Bitcoin and the miners. We'll look at all that, and we'll also take a look at Riot and Cleanspark. They provided their December updates. They've had an outrageous growth in 2022, so that is great news there. We'll take a look at all the numbers for them, and we'll also take a look at the markets. Bitcoin, Ethereum were also up to date, not as much as the miners were, and we'll look at the miners as well. Miners were up huge today for some reason. I don't know whether it was shorts covering possibly. But the miners were up 30%, 40% on some of these guys. It was just a wild day today. So we'll look at all that. And none of the miners hit new 52-week lows today, which is one of the first days in probably a couple of weeks that we've had that. So that's actually good news. So we'll get into all of that. And as always, you guys know the drill here. Not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. I'm invested in buying coins and companies for full disclosure. And I did buy some more today, about 2,000 more shares of Bitfarms and 500 more shares of Cleanspark today. I'll probably do some more shopping later on this week if things drop down a little bit. But that was what I did today. Now, let's get into the markets here. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. Okay, so the S&P was up today 0.75% to 3,852. Dow Jones was up 0.4% to 33,269. And the NASDAQ was up 0.48% to 10,914. So it was a great day in the markets. Bitcoin was also up today. Not that much. It was up only 1%, 1.05% to a close of 16,844. Nonetheless, it was a great day. We hit a low of 16,645 and a high of 16,988. So we're getting close to that 17,000 mark again. Looking at the RSI right now, RSI has come down a little bit here. We are in the red right now in the new day at 16,830. RSI is at still 50. Last time we were here was back here. And at that point, Bitcoin was up just a little bit higher than where it is right now. On the 4-hour chart, if we look at it, Bitcoin has been kind of going sideways while the RSI has been coming down. And we're at 62. Last time we were here was right around here. Price is actually higher on the 4-hour chart, so we've had a nice little reversal here. And if we look at the 1-hour chart, we can see here also that the RSI has been kind of going sideways here at 53. Last time we were at this range was right around back here. Price at that point was lower. So we are turning a little bit more bullish right now. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum here really quick. Ethereum on the day had a nice day today. It was up 3.47%. It closed at 1,256 and 34 cents and a low of 1,212 and a high of 1,272. So overall, it was a pretty good day. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we are in the overbought territory on it at 73 right now. Last time we were close to that was way back over here. We were higher in price, so kind of hard to tell where we're going right now. If we just go far enough back, it was back here. Price was higher, so we'll see where we end up at. Looking at the 1-hour chart, we are coming back down to 58, which is looking pretty good. Last time we were right around here. Price was lower, so that's a good sign there. Might be turning a little bit more bullish as well. Okay, let's take a look at the miners here. So any, let's go back to the daily chart. We can see here. Any has been going on like a 5-day stint here, looks like. It's up 4.93% today to 29 cents. Argo was up 3.45% to $1.20. It actually went down a little bit today on the candle, but it was still up. And they've been going up for the past 6 or 7 days, which is nice to see. Bit Digital was up 12.65% to 73 cents. They started a nice little 4-day rally here. Bitfarms was up huge today, 19.87% to 51 cents. And they've been up 3 days, down 1 day, up 1 day. So Cleanspark was up 8.96% to $2.19. Cores was up 48% today to 10 cents. DigiHost was up 25.41% to 50 cents. They've had a nice little rally here happening for the last 4 days. DMG up 35% to 13 cents. They just, you can see here right out the gate this morning, they were up huge. Not sure why. I think maybe just some shorts covering. Greenidge was up 32.26% to 36 cents. It's had a mixed rally here a little bit, a couple up days, couple down days. Hive was up 17.65% to $1.80. And they've had a nice little 4-day rally here. Hut 8 was up nicely as well, 17.32% to 95 cents. And they've had kind of mixed rally here as well, up a couple days, down a day. Iris Energy was up 7.56% to $1.28. They have a little mixed rally here as well. Then Marathon was up huge today, 24.12% to $4.22, which was nice to see. They had also a mixed rally going on here in the last couple of days. Mawson, let's see, Mawson doesn't want to load for some reason. Mawson was up today 7.33% to 33 cents, it looks like. Riot was up 15.13% to $3.88. They've also had a little bit of a mixed rally, but they were up nicely today. Soluna was up 19.37% to 35 cents. They've had a 3-day rally. Wolf was up 12.76% to 80 cents, and they've had a 4-day rally, it looks like, so far. And that is it on the miners. So a great day for the miners. It's nice to see them actually going up. I tweeted about it this morning. I thought maybe, investors finally got the appetite for some miners, and we were seeing this, and it could be also this shorts covering. So we'll see if this can continue going into tomorrow and Friday. Okay, next, let's take a look at the network hash rate really quick. Network hash rate is on the 7-day average, is starting to spike again. And we are at 271 million right now on the 1 day. We have come down a little bit here to 242 million. So we are seeing some up and down, depending on the weather, I guess, and what else. Curtailment by the miners potentially as well. Okay, so those are all the great news for the miners, stocks, and Bitcoin and Ethereum. It was a great day. Hopefully it continues going forward. Next, our first story is on Cleanspark. So we'll look at Cleanspark first, then we'll look at Riot as well, and we'll look at all the numbers that I have on them as well. So here is the most important parts of it. This year's incredible growth was marginally impacted by Winter Storm Elliott. It forced us to curtail for a few days for the safety of our people and infrastructure, and to protect the public good by ensuring grid stability during the most dramatic temperatures caused by the polar vortex. And we can see that actually in the numbers when we look at my spreadsheet. It is, they curtailed a lot. Since last week, all machines are back up and running at our fleet capacity of 6.2 exahash. So they actually exceeded 6 exahash. They got to 6.2 by the end of December. So they are well above their guidance that they provided earlier this year to where they're going to be by the end of the year. They kept improving it and guiding it up, and they did a fantastic job this year. So December Bitcoin mining update. This is unaudited. Bitcoin mined in December was 464, so this is less than what they did in November. So far in 2022, they mined 4,621. Total BTC holdings is 228. Total BTC converted, they sold 517 in December. And then currently deployed fleet of about 63,700 latest generation Bitcoin miners with a hash rate of 6.2, up 13% from November and up 225% from December of last year. So huge growth for them. They've been one of the ones that have been growing the most here in this bear market, remarkably, and that's based on them selling their Bitcoins. So I think that helped them out tremendously doing that. And let's continue on here. So operational update. So Winter Storm Elliott, a severe weather event in late December, impacted most of the company's operations in Georgia, forcing the powering down of 98% of its machines from December 23rd to midday December 28th. So we're looking at, almost 5 days there that they were just shut down because of the storm. In addition to the company's Georgia facilities, there was also an impact to its hosted machines in upstate New York during the same period. We know New York got hit got hit even worse than the sites in Georgia did. Okay, and that is all that we have for right now. Let's take a look at my numbers that I have for them, and then we'll get into Riot as well. So we'll try to do this relatively quickly here. Okay, so Cleanspark, 71.7 million shares outstanding based on current market cap divided by current stock price of $2.19. That's kind of what we're figuring is the current market share on it. And current hash rate is 6.2 exahash. Future hash rate that they still have to get to is 7 exahash. Now, they did say that they want to get in 2023 to 16 exahash, potentially more than that. It all depends on how things work out with trying to think of the facility that they're working with. I'm drawing a blank, but there's a facility that they're working with that's going to help them out to get to that 16 exahash at least, and potentially higher. But we have nothing reported yet as far as being bought. So until that gets reported, they're buying machines, then we'll update our spreadsheet here for you guys, and you guys will be able to see that. So currently they are operational 87.88%. Hash rate growth is still 13.79%, so it's on the lower side. The good thing is the average miner hash rate is about 98 terahashes, which is pretty good. They do hodl 228 BTC, valued at about 3.8 million right now. And looking down here, we can see their BTC production has been going up pretty much all of this year. I have updated these numbers here to go. We're going into the new quarter, so I added the next 3 months in here. I took out the last 3 months for January, February, and March of 2022, so we can see the 12-month running total here on it. And I'm only using, also the numbers here are only using for their 2022 numbers so far. Once they report for 2022, last month here, I think this is going to be their first month, Q1. That's going to be changed and updated here to reflect the new April through March numbers here. And then that number will get updated as well, which will get updated. I don't think that's being used anywhere. I think right now we're just using the current quarter numbers, which should be, oh, let me see here. That should have been that number there. Actual. Okay, so that's got to be there. So that's the actual number, current quarter estimates. Last 3 quarters are those numbers there. I should have updated that as well. Why didn't anybody catch that? Okay, well, we'll unhide those rows and we'll update this really quick. Sorry about this. Should have had this done already. Let's take a look here. So we are getting rid of Q4 totals. We are adding in this month here. So now we have those numbers, and then we should have this number that we're using as this one here. So that should be that one there. There we go. Okay, so now we have the numbers updated. Didn't change much, but it did change a little bit. Okay. Back to the sheet. So let's hide this really quick, just so you guys can see it. That's how we're going to do it going forward. And yeah, I think that's it. So we can see here the BTC has been pretty good production for them for the most part of the year. It's been going up. They've been growing like crazy, which has helped them increase their BTC production. For December, we know that they were curtailing. Also had the winter storm. So that was a big drop for them of 464 BTC compared from 535 in November. The bad part is also that their BTC per exahash has been coming down here. We had 97 BTC per exahash in November. December came in at 74.8. And I apologize, I got to sneeze. Oh, went away. I thought I was going to sneeze. Okay. What else can we look at here? Going over, we can see that they generated about, in revenue, 7.86 million for the month of December. They did mine 71 less Bitcoins compared to November. They sold off 517 BTC of about 8.7 million in proceeds from that. And then as far as what we got installed in December, the only machines that we got installed here were, let me see, we're down here. So we installed some 100 terahash miners along with these 2 sets here, I believe. Yep. We installed those, or at least these. Yeah, these were installed here to get them to the 6.2 exahash number. So going forward, if they're able to operate for a full month, depending where January ends up at, we're looking at about 11.4 million in revenue. Bitcoin goes up, it could be a lot higher than that, but we'll see where that ends up at. But currently, we're looking at that. Also, for the month, they were, based on the number that they provided of Bitcoin mined and the revenue, we came up with them mining for only 20.5 days in the month for the most part on all these miners here. They got us to the 7.86 million, which is what we have here. 7.864, pretty close. That's what we got. Now, as far as institutions are concerned, institutions did increase a little bit by 1. Shares did increase by a little bit here as well, by about 70,000 shares. But percentage owned went down to 24.26. That's got to be based on dilution, I think, of their shares. So that had a big impact on it. We still have, however, 1 strong buy rating, 3 buy ratings, and price targets stayed pretty close. The high stayed the same at 12, average at $8, and the low of $5. Let's take a look at what I have for them currently, where I think they should be, based on their growth currently and future growth as well. If we look at it here, we're looking at the current quarter of 27.7 million for December. Roughly, this is my estimate. We won't know until they report it, but we'll get it updated when that does happen. And then the last 3 quarters of 94 million, roughly for a combined total of 121 million. 50% net income of gross revenue. We're looking at potentially with a PE of $16.88 to once Bitcoin starts going back up higher, they're going to be more profit margins going to be better. So 75% net income from gross revenue would be around 25, but we would need Bitcoin to go up probably double from where it is right now to get to that point. So this is kind of where I'm thinking where they should be. Other than that, let's take a look at their growth so far this year. Go into minor comparison. Cleanspark, you can see here, right there. They have done a fantastic job of growing. They started at 305 BTC for the year, and then they only had January. Well, February was a lower month because of It was a shorter month. It has less days in it, so that was the reason for that. But other than that, they have been pretty much growing every single month that you can see here. Their production has been increasing and increasing, except for December, which is known now why. So year-over-year growth, 52%. That's really good. We also had the difficulty in network hash rate increasing. That contributed to lower revenue for the guys, for everybody here. So that's understandable, even though they grew substantially here for their hash rate. So they started at about 2 exahash. January, they got to 6.2 exahash. They tripled that, right? 2 times 3, yeah, they tripled that to get to 6 exahash, 6.2 by the end of the year. If we look at their, let's see here, average hash rate for the year is 3.462 exahash. BTC mined is 4,621, and their year-to-date average BTC per exahash. So this is taking the average and the BTC mined. They're looking at 133.5. We'll do this for the rest of them as they reported as well. Bitfarms came in a little bit higher than that at 145.25, which was good. And we'll might as well look at Riot here right now as well. Riot came in at 103 right now. So a little bit lower than both Bitfarms and Cleanspark, but they've been doing a lot of curtailment, so that kind of explains why. Okay, so that is it. That's Cleanspark in a nutshell. Fantastic job by the team there. Done a really good job growing this year, given that we were in a bear market. So hats off to them. Hopefully they can continue doing the same thing into 2023, getting to 16 exahash. That would be, what would that be? 2.5x on it, right? Somewhere around there to get to that 16. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got for you guys on this one. Let me know what you guys think of Cleanspark in the comments down below. Love to hear you guys' thoughts over there. Okay, let's take a look at Riot now. Riot. So Riot has been growing nicely this year, especially towards the latter part of the year. They've done a tremendous job increasing their hash rate constantly from that point on. So here's a production update for December. Riot produced 659 BTC, an increase of approximately 55% as compared to the December 2021 production of 425 BTC. So pretty in line with what we saw with Cleanspark as well. Riot earned 4.9 million in power credits as a result of curtailment activity, equivalent to approximately 290 BTC, using the December 2022 weighted average daily closing Bitcoin price of 16,967. And if we take the 290 plus the 659, we're looking at what, 949 BTC possibly that they could have mined had they not curtailed. So we'll see if this can get improved. And then Riot held approximately 6,952 BTC at the end of the year. They sold 600 BTC. I have 604, so I don't know if that's just an error on their part or an error on my part. Generating net proceeds were approximately 10.2 million, and Riot held a deployed fleet of 88,556 miners with a hash rate capacity of 9.7 exahash right now as of December 31st, 2022, which was a huge increase for them from the 7.7 I think they had at the end of November. So let's see here. Successfully deployed an additional 16,128 S19 series miners, bringing our hash rate to 9.7. So I believe that's where it's at. Now, when I was doing my spreadsheet here, the 88,556, I was only able to get that number accurate if I was able to increase the efficiency on the miners that are being used in immersion cooling. But I'm not certain that they are doing that, well, or at least not providing those numbers yet. I don't think, but we'll see. In late December, Texas and much of the country experienced severe winter weather, the December storm, a significant disruption in the holiday season for many Americans, and they suffered some downtime as well. So a portion of Riot's operations at our Rockdale facility were also unfortunately impacted by the December storm, as some sections of piping in buildings F and G, our immersion buildings, suffered damage and need replacement, impacting approximately 2.5 exahash of our total hash rate capacity. I'm guessing that's included within the 9.7. That's not on top of that currently. Our team is working diligently on the necessary repairs, which we anticipate will take a number of weeks, during which time the affected hash rate will come back online incrementally. So I'm surprised that they had problems with it. I don't know what kind of piping they use, whether they use plastic piping for their setups or if they actually use metal piping. That would have had an impact on it, and also the material that they use for the immersion cooling. if it was mineral sea oil or something like that, I believe that has a very, very low freeze point from my understanding on it. So I'm surprised that they have piping issues that were affected with it. Not sure what they were using, maybe plastic, but if, lesson learned, I think next time they'll probably run some of the machines during that time frame when it gets really cold, just to keep the pipes and the fluid in the system still relatively warm. Okay. Next is, let's see here, mining deployment and shipment updates. During the month of December, Riot received 5,019 new S19 series miners, increased its deployed fleet by 16,128 S19s, with approximately 1,152 miners staged for deployment. Upon deployment of stage miners, the company expects to have a total of 89,708 miners deployed with a hash rate capacity of 9.9, so another 200 petahash being added in there as well. So that's great. Also, estimated hash rate growth during Q1 2023. Riot anticipates a total self-mining hash rate capacity of 12.5 exahash, assuming full deployment of approximately 115,450 Antminer ASICs, but excluding any potential incremental productivity gains from the company's utilization of the 200 megawatt of immersion cooling infrastructure. So that's why I'm thinking that they are not providing us with the incremental increases from the immersion cooling yet. But that's the only way I was able to get it, the numbers to make sense here with the 85,000 they reported up here, which was 88,556. So let's take a look at their spreadsheet and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it here in a second, but let's take a look at their numbers here. So 167 million shares outstanding currently based on the current market cap divided by the stock price. Current hash rate 9.7, future hash rate 12.5, which is perfectly what we have. So they are 77% operational. Hash rate growth of 29%. Left, their average hash rate per mine is 106 terahash, which is really good. Hodl positions 6,952 BTC, worth about 115 million right now. Okay. Looking at their BTC production, it has, as you can see here, towards the summertime, it fell down. I think they did a lot of curtailment during that period because the summer months, heat, everything else. So they were putting energy back into the grid. They were mining less. Now that we're getting closer to the winter, things have gotten a lot better. So October was 509 BTC, November 521, and then December was 659. Great month for them here. Could have been a lot better if they didn't have the storm and all the curtailment. They could have been closer to, like I said, 900 some. Okay. BTC per exahash. Ever since like August, July, things just kind of went downhill for them. They've been doing a lot of curtailment, and that is affecting them with their efficiency. But they are getting credits back for the electricity, so I think that is a net plus on it, or at least a break even if you look at it that way. Okay, so here's what we got going for them. Right now, they are 659 BTC mined. That is valued at approximately 11.16 million right now. So a nice increase from 9.17 in November. And it is a 26% increase from November as well in number of mined. Now, I have them selling at 604 BTC right now. Either my math is off someplace in here, or they're just rounding it to 600 and then calling it a day. And I got to 10.2 million for them on that one. But we'll leave it as it is right now. Not a big deal there. Okay, as far as miners that got installed here in December, we had quite a few numbers here. And we had these 90 terahash miners over here being installed. We also had some of these XPs being installed as well, the 140 terahash miners. And you can see here, my number count is 91,136, and that got us to the 9.7. The only way I was able to get to the 88,500 something was if I basically got rid of these XPs over here and actually bumped these up to, I think it was, I can't remember now, I think it was like 109 terahash. I did it, but I forgot what it was, and it worked out perfectly. So I think I wonder if that's the case. I'm not sure on this. It would be nice to know how many of each miners they have plugged in. They don't provide that, they just provide us the numbers. But that was the only way I was able to get it. But they did say that they haven't provided anything as far as incremental increases yet. They haven't stated that. So I'm going by just the numbers I have here. I have no idea how else we can get to the 88,500 something, but the current miners the way they are. Okay. So that got us to approximately 11.165 million, which is what we have here. And they were only mining for about 18.6 days during the month of December. So a lot of curtailment. The storm also Took them down for a while here, it seems like. So it's a little bit better than it was in November, just slightly. They were at 88.5 in November, 88 or 88. 18.5, they are in 18.6 here in December. And if they go in January with a full month of mining, they should be at about 17.8 million right there. So big difference, about 7.7 million or 6.7 million difference from month to month if they were actually mining it. Okay. Now, as far as institutions are concerned, we still have the same amount of institutions, 321. They did increase a little bit here, not too much, by about, was it 130,000 shares, looks like. Right? No. You got 90 there. I guess, yeah. Something like that. 130,000 shares, 130,000 shares. As far as percentage owned, did increase a little bit here to 36.49 from 36.41. We still have 3 strong buy ratings, 7 buy ratings, 1 hold, and price targets are almost the same. So high is $15, average is down a little bit here to 9.94, and the low is still $6. So they have them at 15 and 6. Let's see where I have them on my sheet. We are using, let's see here, make sure we're using the right numbers. Yep. So that's the current quarter that we're in, waiting for December results, and then the last 3 quarters as well. I have them between $9.36 and $14.03. So pretty much right on where they have it. I do think that once Bitcoin starts going back up, those numbers will improve, but they will improve incrementally as, you know, each quarter they make more and more money, and we get out of the other quarters that were a little bit not as profitable here as like the 22 million in the Q3. So we'll wait for the Q4 results from them. Once they get reported, we'll get this updated and we'll see where they end up at. Okay. Now, as far as their growth is concerned, if we look at the miners comparison, right here, started the year out at 3.4. They almost went also 3x here, kind of like Cleanspark did, to 9.7 exahash. They are a little bit less efficient, but they do have the curtailment credits that they get from their electricity provider. They are at 103 BTC per exahash based on the average hash rate of 5.31 exahash for the year. So just taking the average from where they started to where they ended, and we get the average on it. Okay. What else can I show you guys on them? I think that is it. As far as their production has been concerned with BTC, you can see here that they started out pretty high, 458 in January. They were coming down here in February, was a smaller month or shorter month. March was a nice little improvement here, but ever since then they started falling back down towards the summer months, and then getting into fall, things started improving here, especially into winter. So good things to come, I think, for Riot and some of the other guys as well. My only concern is with Riot going into 2023 is their growth. If they're going to get to the 12.5 exahash plus any incremental increases from the immersion cooling, where are they going to go after that? So they're going to be pretty much tapped out at the end of first quarter, potentially. Might not get tapped out until the second quarter. But if that happens, their growth is done for the most part. The only thing they can do is maybe do some optimization. They still have a lot of growth with their other facility that they're building out right now, but we don't have anything reported as far as where they're going to go after that. So it's kind of like Cleanspark too. Cleanspark is saying that they're going to get to 16 exahash, but we don't have anything reported as far as being bought. They're pretty much almost tapped out as well, getting to 7 exahash here. So they're kind of both in the same boats. They both have to grow substantially here to grow beyond what they are at right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that this year and how they both tackle it. Okay, so that is it. Hopefully we have a nice day tomorrow with the markets. Bitcoin's continue to go up, or Bitcoin and the miners continue to go up. As always, the spreadsheet is available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there for their continued support. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you all. And I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe.